So it's been a bit rainy this last month in the UK, but for the last couple of days it has been pissing it down. I've not needed to go anywhere, which means the bike hasn't run, which is perfect timing for me because I'm due a service, which means I can do the valve clearance. Now, I've not done a valve clearance on this bike before, so it'll be coming along with me for the first time. But as I understand it, all I need to do is take the covers off, put it top dead center, check the clearance. If it needs adjusting, adjust it, and do the same on the other side. Now, I have the direct feeler gauges from Motorworks, so I should be able to do all four of the valves at the same time per side. So we'll take you along for that journey. First job, get the heads exposed. Right, so first job is to take this cover off, and we have to remove the spark plug lead and the spark plug to make our life a bit easier. That does require a special tool, although everyone says you can do it with fingers or pliers, but for the one for fiver I spent the special tool, which slides over the top here, giving good purchase to pull out, and then that can just dangle off to one side. Then hopefully this is the right size spark plug, and that can come out. I've not gone all the way yet. There we go. Now these are our old spark plugs. They're getting changed as part of this. They look a bit dark, but I think that looks alright. They're relatively new, I think, because I think I threw in a set the minute I picked up the bike when I was having all my issues. Okay, now these 4 bolts should just come out. Came out relatively easy. All right. So, word for anyone else, a little something just to trap the spilt oil. That's this side exposed. The only other thing I've got to do on this side, before I go on the other side, is up here is my inspection hole so I can find top dead center. So it's worth getting that exposed. Okay, now I've got the top dead center on this side, in the right stroke, so there's wiggle room and everything here. And I've put in the feeler gauges that came from Motorworks, they're the right sizes. And I can see here, this one at the top feels a little too loose. And then also this one here on the bottom right also feels a little bit looser. And they could do with a little bit of tightening. So I got onto top dead center by the way of taking off the front cover and just turning the crank. People suggest turning the rear wheel with it in gear. I could not get that to smoothly turn, easily save my life. So I didn't. What I'll do first is the exhaust stroke. Now the idea with this is you do both at the same time because tightening of one does affect the other. So what I'll do first of all is loosen this top, which is a bit of a pain. Okay. Then that's got a bit more friction, I like that. Now I'll just tension it up without moving. And that's much nicer friction. And then we shall loosen this one off as well. As I tighten this one, I'm checking here, see if there's any play. Because apparently, as we tighten one, the other one can adjust. Come on. So that feels good. So what I'll do is I'll nip those up a bit tighter. And I'm happy with the tautness of those. And I'm going to come around this side. And I'm going to do the same here. So this bottom one is a lot looser than the top. So I'm just going to do this one first. Nope, it helps if I turn it the right way, doesn't it? Okay. Let's get this top one back in. The way they describe it is this is supposed to be a firm drag, which that feels like it is. So let me just give that a bit of a touch. Some firm. This one's very sloppy. Let's tension that a little bit more. 2/10. That feels good. Which has adjusted this one. Feels better. This one now feels a little too loose. So let's head back. Crack it loose. Just there. There we go. Right. Make sure that I don't. There we go. There. A little tighter. A little tight. Now I feel a good firm drag on that. And that's a little bit loose. So I'll go around and play with that again. But we keep doing that until it's all sorted. That's a little too loose. And that is all of them at the right feeling for me. So nice firm drag on everything. Right, so all of that can come out. And I'll go and do the same on the other side. After turning the crank round to get it on top dead center for the other side. Right, so cover goes back on. without spilling any oil. Now, I've not found a torque setting for these in my hands, so I've gone and done them tight-ish without going over the top, because I don't really want it to be too tight. So I'll give the bottom a wet and see how much it leaks afterwards. If it's still leaking a little bit, I'll check and see if it needs retightening. Because the one thing I don't want to do is over torque these, and then this whole cylinder has to be replaced, because I'd cry. Now, spark plug goes in. I've got new Bosch spark plugs. Since we've taken the head off, it's easier to just go and do this all at the same time. Now, there is actually a torque setting for this, and according to my Haynes manual, it is 20 Newton meters. So, on goes torque wrench. Always worry about this. There we go. Straight off. Now, it should just be a case of plugging that clip back in, and then that is the entire job done. Now we'll see if the bike actually starts. Alright, I'm going to have to stop it there for a little while, but that's the first part of my service done. So it now definitely sounds a lot healthier with the new spark plugs. I think the next thing to do realistically is probably take it for a run and then do an oil change. There doesn't appear to be any leaks from where I put the covers on, so that's good. I've run it for 30 seconds, a minute or so. Starts under fine with no choke, which I'm actually really impressed by. So that's running beautifully. So as you can hear, that's running beautifully for this bike, considering it's cold, starting without any choke. There's no oil drips that I can see. I will keep an eye on it. I've already changed the oil filter. I've changed the final drive. Later on this evening, if I get a bit of time, I might try and change the gearbox oil, because that's going to be able to be done while the bike's cold. But I need to take it for a run now that the valves have been adjusted, see how it goes, then come back, drop the oil, and put the new oil and filter in, and I really should do a throttle body sync. Now, I've not tried a throttle body sync, but I know that has to be run while the engine's been warmed up. So what I might do is an oil change before that, or try to do the oil change afterwards. I'll make a decision later on. But you can see this is actually quite easy. I'm supposed to do this every year. It's the first time doing it, and I've done it in about an hour. That's with recording it and struggling my way through. But I'm really pleased, and I'll end it there. And if you've got any other questions, let me know. I'll put all the torque settings I found and the measurements of everything in the description. Thanks very much.